Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Schönheit ist nicht alles. Sie könnten sich nicht ewig verstecken.
Beauty is not everything, Mr. Elwood.
Says Mr. Pretty Face.
Entschuldigung.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Oh, ja, okay.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Okay.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital was attacked.
Yeah, I heard them. At least 10 men and women. None of them sounded too happy, you know. When fear turns to anger. Reminded me of being back in the trenches.
What did they do?
They went upstairs and arrested Dr. Swansea. They argued for a few seconds and then there was just this awful silence.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Also, God of Craven
On
hat
every street corner,
Dr. Swansea entführt.
the daily routine.
So. Ihn haben wir noch. So viele Gespräche.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Aber es kann uns
Dr. Reed,
sehr
any
gut
good
weiterhelfen.
news to share?
Ihr seht ja die EP, die ich kriege. Es sind zwar nur Hatten, aber immerhin.
Nurse Brannigan has been recently accused of neglecting her professional duties. Tell me what you really think about it.
This kind of protest is nothing but elitist bullshit. I trust Nurse Brannigan with my life. She has what it takes to be a great doctor.
Do you really think she could be the next Elizabeth Blackwell?
Believe me, Dr. Reed, a time will come when skill and skill alone will determine who can be a physician and who cannot.
Google, wenn Elizabeth Blackwell war. Hört sich interessant an. Okay, ist nix.
Are you okay? I heard the hospital was attacked.
Yes, can you believe it? Attacking a hospital of all places. Mindless savages.
Is anyone hurt?
No, but Dr. Swansea is missing. I believe they wanted money or drugs. Maybe these brutes will ask for a ransom.
Das ist gut.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Ich glaube eher, dass sie wollen, dass wir uns ergeben. Wo ist die eine Schwester? Da ist der. Da ist sie. Da.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Hä? Wie steht die denn? Okay. Ja, genau. Hier ist nichts mehr. Hier ist was.
According to the report I read, your unprofessional conduct put a patient in danger, Gwyneth.
That's not true. I know when my patient's life is at risk, and I'm more competent than a lot of doctors that I know. Problem is, I'm a woman.
I don't see what your gender has to do with your abilities, Nurse.
Yes, nurse. Because I'll never be a doctor, no matter what my skills. I could make a decision that could save a life, but oh no, that's unbecoming conduct.
Ja. Sie haben meine Unterstützung. Falsche Zeit, falscher Ort. Ey.
Have you heard of Elizabeth Blackwell? She was the first woman listed on the UK Medical Register. Change is slow, but it will come. And you will always have my support.
To have the right to study shouldn't be determined by sex, skin, or wealth. That's all I'm saying.
Ja, hat sie leider recht. Zu der Zeit auf jeden Fall.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital has been attacked.
I'm okay. I don't think anyone's hurt. But we haven't heard from Dr. Swansea.
Do you think he's been taken then?
Yes. There's been shouts in his office, and then these brutes left the hospital without a word.
Goodbye,
okay.
nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Hätten noch den hier und da unten waren ja auch noch zwei und halt, nein, der Linden fehlt noch. Okay, die rauchen da eine, okay. Ich spreche erstmal mit.
Hey, Doc.
Moin. Ach,
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
okay, ich glaube, wir haben gerade einen Nebenpreis gekriegt.
A lucky charm? I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws,
Ah,
Doc.
komm, geh weg.
Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital has been attacked.
For a second I thought the bastards were here for me. They had guns and everything. Maybe they're a new gang trying to expand.
Ah, so
I'll
ähnlich.
leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
So, er jetzt.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
Tja, das ist eine gute Frage.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see the city is crumbling down? Today people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow we may be fighting for food.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Der hat nämlich Shotgun-Munition, das weiß ich nämlich sicher. Patronen brauche ich nicht. Sonst hat er nichts. Ich möchte. Gleich sind die Gespräche vorbei, dann kann ich gucken, was los ist. Moin.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Habe ich mit dem noch gar nicht geredet?
Mr. Thatcher, do you have a job?
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean. I was a soldier too.
No. Nobody can truly understand what I've gone through.
Why were you locked in that sewer? What happened?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite my claustrophobia.
Oh, okay. Worüber haben sie gestritten?
Why did you run? What was the reason for your argument?
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital. I can't stand being closed in. Makes me feel like I'm suffocating.
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it my own way.
Okay.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke Hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room again by anyone.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
Okay, kann es sein, dass der irgendwie als Versuchskaninchen missbraucht wurde?
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
Es sind die Schuldgefühle eines Soldaten. Es war ihre Kindheit. Sie waren verschüttet. Das kann auch sein.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during the shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on, please. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. Oh, the terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
Okay. Sie wird das Furchtbares durchlitten.
What you endured was terrifying. It would have completely destroyed weaker men.
It did not destroy Newton.
Na, vielleicht doch.
Shameful thoughts. Tell me about them.
At some point, I don't remember which day, but when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end, I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher. If you ever want to heal, you have to say it.
Yeah, I thought about what I could do to survive. Just for a few more days. thought about killing Newton. Killing and eating him. The man I fucking love.
Oh. Ja, das ist shit.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh.
I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Na. Ein Hinweis fehlt uns noch. Okay.
Are you concerned about the conditions here in London?
Not really. Sick people, men in arms, fighting every night. I already faced all this during the war.
Okay,
Goodbye, Mr.
Sie können, also ich
Try
glaube,
to
ihn
take
und
care
den
of yourself.
Newton können wir nicht darüber fragen, was mit dem Angriff auf den Pembroke war.